What's going on, guys? 1 second. Getting stuff put together. We're live!
New information. This severe thunderstorm has been updated.
Yeah, I was going to get on earlier, but honestly, nothing was happening. And I'm planning on doing a pretty long stream as this moves through North Dakota. So I was like, I'm not going to hop on if I don't see anything too severe. But we got some, we have almost 2-inch hail up here in central South Dakota. We've got some severe thunderstorm warnings across western Nebraska. Got some interesting storms moving across Montana. Nothing major, some big hail up there in northern Montana though, almost 1.5 inches. Strong storms moving out towards Philly and approaching Maryland here, but nothing crazy there. We're really watching right now, and we can go to the composite here. We've got some heavy rainfall in this region. We're really watching here right now. This is where our violent tornado parameters right here are off the charts. But there's going to be a little bit of sin, a little bit of inhibition here. So that's why we don't have like a 10 hatched. You know what I'm saying? But I'm watching these. We do have a little bit of rotation trying to get going here. Sorry, that was loud. We do have a little bit of rotation trying to get going here. So I'm watching this. Let's see how this is. You can see it. You can see it right in there, that rotation. Some gust fronts about to collide as well out here. We'll see what happens there. Hey, what's going on, Alexis? It's really bad in OI. We mean I. Wait, what? What's OI? Am I going crazy? Arkansas. You guys don't got much going on, do you? Yeah, you guys look pretty good in Arkansas. Some light thunder showers. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, you got some nice rainfall moving through Columbus, Ohio right now. For sure. Thunder showers though, not too big of a severe threat with this. Not too big of a severe threat. So, yeah, not overly concerned with this. Heavy downpours, some gusty conditions moving through here. Not expecting any hail out of that over Tor. Where is the cold front? Well, without opening up windy, or not windy, without opening up, what's the other app I use? Let's look at the satellite. It's the best way to see where the cold front is. Let's go CONUS. Let's put this into motion. There's going to be cool air behind this. Some sinking down into here. But this is more... What we have moving up through here is more of a surface low. This is an actual low pressure system right here that's spinning off into the northeast. So you could get some cooler air settling in behind here. I can actually pull it up and show you exactly where it is. So upper level low. Here, let's do that. Let me pull up. 1 second, guys. I'm going to pull up.
A new severe thunderstorm warning.
New severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to pull up. WSV3. And I'm going to put it up over here. And let's do... Let's do this. High-res fill, fronts, 10-minute winds.
New information. This considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been...
So here we go. Let's go over to satellite. So this is this will show us where our high and low pressure systems are. We've got, this is more of a surface low over here around Rapid City. One second. Let me actually change this radar back to MRMS. Surface low moving through the Dakotas, and then you can see we've got a big, this is where we've got a big upper level low. I keep hitting D to try to write on it. Out here. Now, notice, and let me pull up the pen. There we go. Notice there's not really a cold front on here. Like I said, you've kind of got one moving in from the north. And you've kind of got one off the coast, but you don't really get these like big cold fronts at this time of year. You get more just daytime heating convection and surface lows that form. Whereas in spring, fall, and winter, the other 3 seasons that aren't summer, you can get pretty big cold fronts where you have a clear boundary of very cold air moving into very hot air. That doesn't typically happen as much as summer just because everything is so hot. You don't have as well defined of cold fronts, but we do have some cold air sinking in from the north here, and a little bit up here to the north as well. But yeah, not much of a cold front. All right, let me close that out. One second, guys. I'll start answering your questions. Just give me a second. Alrighty. Davenport, Iowa. Iowa doesn't really have much going on. There is some thunderstorms, thunder showers, I would even just say. Cloud tops aren't too high. Just to the west of Davenport that will be moving in shortly, but just heavy downpours expected with that. Is it going to start snowing in the Rockies soon? It can sometimes start snowing in the Rockies as early as late September. It's possible to get early season snow in about a month, but that's at the highest elevations. The highest elevations. Typically, you don't really see that snow. Typically, you don't see an average time to see early season snow is late October, mid-October in the Rockies. So, yeah, a month or two, snow will be back. You'll have at least you'll have the chance to see some snow return. Yeah, people don't realize we're about a month away from fall starting.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Still seeing an enhanced rush tomorrow? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I want to show you guys something else as well. I was showing my little brother this. Let's take a live look at the atmosphere. Let's look at our violent tour param. You guys notice anything on here? Notice anything on the violent tour param? Don't all say it at once. This area specifically. Earlier in the day, we've got a 9.0 violent tour param. Earlier in the day, this area looked like it was going to have a lot of sin, a lot of inhibition. It's not looking that much anymore. We're also seeing 6,000 potential surface cape in this region. Do I think we're going to get a violent tornado on the ground here? No. Do I think it's possible? Yes. If I had to bet, I'd say no, though. But violent tour param's pretty high. Up here. Out through here. I'm not too worried about this, if I'm being honest. I don't think we're going to get too much convection. But it's possible. But if we do take a look at our surface cape up here. 6,500, 7,000 surface cape. If we take a look at our helicity, surface helicity up here. Let's go to
New information.
2 to 250 surface helicity, not bad. It's probably going to be a little bit higher than that. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at our... Can we look at our upper air? That's not what I want to look at. 1 second, guys. I always get lost on here. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? It should be here, but it's not. It should be here.
This severe
I don't need
thunderstorm
advection.
warning has been updated.
That's pretty impressive, though. There's the surface low. Why can't I find it? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. That's so annoying. Okay, I don't know if they move this around. SIG-Tor as well. We can look at our SIG-Tor on here. SIG-Tor's not being that impressive. Violent Tor Param is being impressive, but SIG-Tor I think is taking in a little bit more of what's it's accounting for that helicity. That's somewhat absent. At least if they're guessing it's going to be absent. When I pull soundings off the helicity is 300 to 400. Right now it's showing pretty low helicity, but I think that's gonna change shortly. So surface, I think that's gonna change shortly. I think this will go up to about 300-400. Anyways, really quickly, and I'm gonna answer all your questions. Let's talk. I'm just gonna tell you what's going on. I'm gonna answer all your questions. All right. Really quickly, and I'll answer all your questions. Do we have any considerable severe thunderstorm warnings? We do have golf ball size hail, almost 2-inch hail, moving to the north and east, right east of Eagle Butte in South Dakota. This is like central to northern South Dakota. We've got some average severe thunderstorms down to the south of that in Nebraska moving north and southern South Dakota moving north, 60-mile-per-hour winds, inch hail or smaller. Nothing major. Same out in Montana, severe thunderstorm warnings, nothing major. We've got some severe thunderstorm warnings down in Oklahoma, Texas. Nothing that is violent. Now, there is... What the heck is going on with this radar? Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. There is... Look at this radar, guys. What is this? Let's use it. Okay, there we go. We do have potentially 70-mile-per-hour winds in this little stationary storm here just to the north of Crowell, Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that, but nothing major. And then we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out here in east. 60-mile-per-hour winds, 3/4-inch hail. Nothing major. Again, watching this region right here where we have almost 2-inch hail. Large hail means strong updrafts. Strong updrafts will tilt rotating columns of air that are perpendicular to the surface, meaning tornadoes. So we're watching this region right here. I remember in the winter when there were snowstorms, you had like 1,000 viewers. Hopefully it's like... Well, oh yeah. I mean, I had one stream where I had 17,000 people in the stream at the same time. I think I did... It was a 4-hour stream. I think I did 1.2 million viewers. That's how it is. I mean, this isn't like a crazy event today. Also, when there's severe weather in the Dakotas, you don't get as many viewers. There's just not as many people living here, so not as many people tuned in. If you have like severe weather moving through like Chicago, through Philly, through like, you know, in the plains, like when we get Dallas involved or Kansas City or Oklahoma City, you typically get a lot of people watching those just because there's a bigger population there, a lot more people who are interested and who are online looking for coverage. So when there's severe weather through the Dakotas, I don't expect too big of a stream. Also, I was posting and streaming every day for over 200 days. I basically didn't miss a day unless I was like sick or out of town. I've barely streamed or posted for the last couple of weeks because my computer's been being repaired. So that affects you as well. We'll be good though. How do they categorize considerable thunderstorm warnings? Once we get hail that is over 1.5 inches, they can call it considerate. Once we get winds that are radar indicated 70 plus miles per hour, they can call it considerable. So your average severe thunderstorm, when they actually call it a severe thunderstorm, is if they detect winds of at least 60 plus mile per hour, gusts of at least 60 plus mile per hour. They'll do a weather statement if gusts get around 50. Severe thunderstorm warning if gusts get around 60. Considerable if gusts get around 70. Once gusts get to 80, they call it, that's a damaging thunderstorm. You know what I mean? That's a destructive thunderstorm. And then with hail, it's the same. You get over 1.5 inches hail. Considerable, you get up to, I think, 2.5 or 3-inch hail. It becomes destructive. So it's just the size of the hail and the strength of the winds. It's I forget the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's what I said there. Yeah. What does Minnesota look like tomorrow? Minnesota looks sketchy tomorrow. Hoping that weather stays to the north of Minneapolis, but if you want to look at it, we can go here. Severe weather, day 2, and we'll go into our convective allowing HRRR. Ooh, we're about to get our 00Z. I'm going to have to use the 12Z, though. Ugh. I don't want to use the 12Z. Can we use the 18Z? We can use the 18Z. Going into tomorrow, here we go. By the way, look at tonight, guys. Look at tonight, and this is what I'm talking about. We have this violent tornado parameter here, but the storms want to have an issue forming in that region. Look at this, though. This could be a big wind event for portions of North Dakota and then out towards Grand Forks and Fargo tonight. Tomorrow, look at this line of storms that forms. This is kind of like a stationary front. You've got your main front. It's kind of forming like a stationary front. You got your upper level low here. You've got a kind of semi-cold front here and then a stationary front out behind. So these could be lingering. When you get a stationary front, notice this area. The storms are just going to float for a little bit and not move. Watch. They form, and look, they're staying. That is what causes flash flooding. I think we're going to have a moderate risk for flash flooding here. And although typically with stationary fronts, your tornado threat's not too high because you have so much rain-cooled air that the atmosphere equalizes quicker. So, but, wow, this has moved farther south. This is looking like potentially decent wind and hail for Minneapolis, out towards Eau Claire. Yeah, this is looking pretty spicy tomorrow. I think we go enhanced, guys. And then look at that down towards La Crosse and moving down to the south and east. We'll see if that makes it all the way down to Chicago. And eastern Iowa is going to get involved. South and eastern Wisconsin is going to get involved. New severe thunderstorm warnings out here. Still very large hail. Strong updrafts out here. Let's look at our velocities. Interesting. That's just clutter, radar clutter. Michael, what's going on? Ready for cooler temps? They're coming. A little bit cooler. Ohio's doing all right. You've got some heavy rainfall moving through Columbus, but wind, hail, and tornadoes not too big a threat here. Just torrential downpours, unfortunately. Considerable upgrade at 1.75 hail. That's in South Dakota. Yeah, which we already saw. We're ahead of it.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
New severe thunderstorm warning in West Virginia. Oh, did that? I don't see that on here. Did that say? Oh, must not have said West Virginia. Let me look here. Let me look at what's going on. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings, but nothing too bad. Again, we're really watching South Dakota and North Dakota tonight. Potentially northwestern Minnesota. And then Minnesota is our target tomorrow. Minnesota, Wisconsin, potentially northeastern Iowa, northern Illinois. For tomorrow, yeah, temperature-wise, take a look at this. Look at that. 6 to 10 day forecast. Now, again, this is summer, so this isn't cold air, but it's well below average air. Decently below average air here. We move all the way out to 2 weeks and average to below average. So not bad. We're going to get rid of that heat for at least a couple weeks. So look at Alaska bacon, though. Alaska's hot. So that's nice. And for those of you who don't know, typically like the hottest time of the year is end of July, early August. So we're going to be over that heat peak. Like the heat, after like a week from now, after the next 7 days, our temperatures on average historically will only be getting cooler. All right, we're basically at the tip of the mountain with heat. The hottest part of the year is not the middle of summer. It's more towards the end of summer because the surface has heated so much it holds in that heat after the sun starts going at a slightly deeper angle. So we're basically at the tip of the mountain and everything is just going to get cooler from here. Okay. Thunderstorms always go right around in Minnesota. Well, that's not a bad thing, right? Pittsburgh. Yeah, we had some storms out there earlier. You could get some more storms. These are likely just going to be thunder showers, and they're moving quickly. I'm not too concerned about anything severe through Pittsburgh tonight. But keep alerts on. You're still in a marginal. Keep alerts on. Stay weather aware, but not overly concerned. But you never know. Weather's weird. Nancy Brown and Tufts. I appreciate you guys. Hey, by the way, I have...
A new considerable severe thunderstorm.
New considerable. We'll go over that. I'm not one to ever really say this, but I have taken a hit. My channels have taken a hit. My computer's been broken. I've been traveling. I'm moving to Minnesota in 5 days. I'm going to have to take a couple more days off before I start doing this every day. So I have lost, like, all my subs and all my views. So if anyone wants to sub to support the channel, that'd be great. You do not have to, though. You can watch for free. But it does help. It does help. I pay about $350 to $400 a month on all the software I use and the bots and everything that reports stuff as I'm doing this. So anything helps. I appreciate you guys. I want a good storm in Cincy's so bad. I feel like the good ones keep missing us. Yeah, I'm like, when's the last time Cincinnati's had a good storm? A lot of stuff's been to the north. Well, remember, you have a spring tornado season, but you also have a fall tornado season. And this region gets a lot of cold and warm air interaction, specifically with that fall tornado season. So you're going to have another severe season coming up here for Cincinnati specifically. Yeah, and if you do become a... Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Herbal. If you do become a sub on TikTok or you become a member on YouTube, you get access to the Discord, which is updated live every single day. And we're going to start doing giveaways again for merch. And it's just, there's a bunch of weather enthusiasts in there chatting, and it's a cool place. All automatic updates are in the Discord. Anytime anything is posted to SBC, WPC, the Space Prediction Center, NHC, National Hurricane Center, any warnings, watches, everything is automatically posted in there through the NWS bot. So it's live updated with all things weather all the time, including volcano updates, earthquake updates, anything you can think of, really. I appreciate you, Jasmine. How's Minnesota for tomorrow? Minnesota, I think we could go enhanced. I expect us to go enhanced tomorrow. I think we're going to get some very bad weather, specifically in that area that I circled. Not everyone's going to see it, but people in this circle will experience some bad weather tomorrow. Damaging winds, potentially some large hail, and maybe a tornado or two. So this is definitely going to be the area. Now, we could get, in a much broader area, we could get bad weather anywhere through here, I think. Now, I mean, up here as well, but that's the area I'm watching tomorrow, especially just because of the population density. But we could have some decent weather moving up through Duluth and stuff as well. We can go into our outlook for tomorrow. Day 2. So we could get some severe weather up here. It's looking more and more like we could get an MCS setup moving like this through this region, though. So that's why I'm circling here. I think this is going to go enhanced. And I think the slight's going to go like this.
A new flash flood warning.
I think the slight's going to stretch, and I think that area circled is going to go enhanced. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Trees got knocked down in Essex County, New Jersey yesterday. Ooh. Yeah, you know, Jersey and Philly, because I'm out in the Philly region, at least for another 5 days before I live in Minnesota. Jersey hasn't had a ton of severe weather this year, but recently we've had some flooding. We've had some damaging winds. We had a couple tornadoes. Just not in the normal severe weather season. Owensville, Missouri. Well, this is a banger. I forgot this was on here. Yeah, you guys are looking good in Missouri. I mean, there's some nice storms moving through central Missouri out east to the north of Columbia, but nothing overly concerning. Yeah, Yali. I love the Discord. And we're going to get back to everything that we were planning once I'm up in kind of like our monthly meets that we wanted to start and the giveaways and all that type of stuff. We're going to, and our meetings, we're going to get back into all that. Once I get back up in Minnesota, we can get things rolling, doing it the right way. I'm just happy that I can freaking post and stream again because my computer's working. Well, I could before, but it was just like a gamble if my computer was going to crash or if I was going to lose everything I was working on. Now I have no issues. Orion, I appreciate you. Matt, Elijah, thank you guys. How tall are you? 6'9". Yeah. 6'9". 6'9". Promise. I would never lie to you guys. Hey Riley.
Yeah.
How tall am I?
6'9".
Did you guys hear that? See? Elijah, what's going on? Somerset, PA. Oh, this is a banger. Somerset, PA. You guys got some strong storms up to your north. You're gonna okay. You see this gust front that starts to disappear there? Bet you have some gusty winds moving in about 15 minutes. Yeah, thunder showers and gusty winds are going to move through soon. Really quick torrential downpour is probably going to last 15 minutes. Not severe, though. Currently, you know what? I can dox myself because I'm leaving in 5 days. I'll just circle the general area. Let's say I live in this circle. I live in that circle. All right. Now, no one come finding me. Luckily, I'm selling my home in 5 days. When I move next week, I'll tell you guys exactly where I lived. Okay. I'll show it on a map. Yeah. Don't spam. Don't spam. Live. Don't spam live. All right. Live. Okay, I was gonna give them a chance, but thank you for muting them. Oh, Elijah, you asked. Sorry that we had spammers. Cambridge, Ohio. I'll get to that in a second. Elijah, you asked. Is Northwest PA L County? Yeah, there's not much going on up there. Just some showers. You guys are pretty safe for tonight. And then someone asked about Cambridge, Ohio. Yeah, you guys are going to have some heavy downpours in the next hour, but not looking severe. We did have another upgrade to a considerable out here. So let's take a look at that real quick. 2-inch hail still falling, close to 2-inch hail still falling up there in northern central South Dakota, or north to central South Dakota. And just some average severe thunderstorm warnings down here in Nebraska. Again, we're expecting this to kind of turn into an MCS tonight. So as these storms move north, they're going to expand and intensify and try to run over everyone here. But the parameters as they get farther north aren't as high. Luckily, it looks like we're really going to get a lot of kind of ignition with these storms as they pass that really violent tornado parameter area where we have a lot of instability, and that would be the best for us. We don't want these storms to initiate or start to expand down here because we have a lot of instability in the region. We have a little bit of sin that's going to hold it off. This is my this isn't my normal playlist. This is my 80s synthwave playlist. What's going on with our tropical systems? Oh, look at that. 60% chance of development in the next 2 days. Just to the south of Hawaii. This is our low right here, circulating. Take a better look at it when we go into our long wave. Another circulation here. I mean, look at the Pacific is just going wild. You know, no one is talking about this bad boy out here, though, guys. No one is talking about Let's go to goes east. No one's talking about this. There's not a ton of shear out here. The waters aren't super warm, but they're warm enough. No one's talking about this tropical wave. It's moving into the Caribbean. And we've got a trough that's going to hold this thing to the south towards the States. It's not going to drop down to the south that way. Trust me, it'll be pulled by the Bermuda High. But there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. It could interact with some shear out here. It could interact with some dry air out here. There is dry air out here, so nothing to concern about now, but I'm just surprised people aren't talking about this tropical wave, as well as what's coming off the coast of Africa right now and what's back here. We'll keep our eye on that. Yeah. Mama of 5. Crazy. Teeny Cam Jam. I appreciate you. I enjoy your content, Connor. I appreciate that. Please give me an update for Canal Winchester. Canal? 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 Flash flood warning. Yeah, torrential downpours. You are under a flash flood warning. It's effective for another 3 hours. At 8:01 p.m. Eastern Time, so about 22 minutes ago, radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of half an inch to an inch are possible. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Flash flooding of small creeks, streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some areas that could experience this flash flooding include Canal Winchester, Groveport, Pickerington, Obetz, Lockbourne. Okay, these names are getting too hard. You guys can see that right there. Right there. Right there, right there, right there. Yes, heavy downpours right there. Remember the snow on Halloween last year in the Midwest? Listen, I'm so pumped for winter since I'll be living in Minnesota. I'm going to, anytime there's a blizzard, I'm live streaming. Live streaming the blizzard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to somehow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my live stream to my phone so I can show it outside while I'm doing live coverage at the same time. What is really cool is my new office is right in the front of the house with big windows. So what I can even do is just turn the camera around. Just be like, I'm pumped. We're going to be Enzo neutral to weak La Nina this winter as well. That means you have a much greater chance of seeing heavy snow and colder, below average winter temperatures in northern states, Midwest, Pacific Northwest, Northern Plains, and New England. And yeah, people say, oh, well, it's always colder there. No, colder than average. Bro, why does the radar thing look so good? Because this is weather-wise. Actually, Evan Freiberger actually helped me set up these settings. I got to talk with him. But weather-wise has a really clean setup that runs really smoothly. Yeah. It's nice. Alexis. I had a beautiful storm roll through Lexington, Michigan earlier today. Nice. Are we expecting any more anytime soon? Let's see. Sorry if I yelled into my mic. Lexington. What are we talking about? Michigan. Not much going on out here. But we can take a look up in the thumb. Up in the good old thumb. Let's go to the 23Z. Do we expect anything else tonight? The HER's not seeing much. Maybe a small thunder shower, but not much. Yes. Yes. My weather-wise, yeah, I decluttered the radar with my settings. So typically on a normal radar, you see all this blue, you'd have a lot of fuzz here all around this, a lot of fuzz. But with the paid version of weather-wise, you can actually declutter, so it takes out all the fuzz and just shows you where the actual rain is falling. I mean, I could show you. I can even look at this. I can even do it more, but I'm not going to. So filter. Right now I'm at... What was I at? Oh, crap. I think it was at 4. So watch this. Watch me declutter it like crazy. Now I'm literally only seeing the bad storms. See? Now, what a normal radar looks like is this. Right? Very messy. We don't need all this clutter. So we can just declutter it. See that? Declutter it. But I leave a little bit. I leave a little bit. So it's a little bit highlighted. Because the clutter also shows the gust fronts. And I want to see the gust fronts. So we'll do it like that. Anything for Aberdeen, Maryland?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Aberdeen, you guys got some storms out here to your west. We can take a look at Radar Omega real quick and see if anything's pushing down into that area. Later tonight, Aberdeen's looking pretty good. Aberdeen's looking pretty good.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Aberdeen Live, could you look at the weather for New Mexico this coming week? Well,
New information. This
let's just do this.
has been updated.
Let's look at our multi-day. Let's look at our let's look at our 7-day rainfall forecast for New Mexico. 5-day, there's basically nothing. Oh, there is. 1 to 3. All right, you know what I'm going to do? We'll just do it real quickly on Pivotal. Since we don't have too much going on yet. So let's take a look. Here's our 18Z on the Euro. Got a nice high pressure sitting out over New Mexico for a little bit. Starts to get some thunderstorms rolling into New Mexico right around
This severe thunderstorm
Monday.
has been updated.
Monday, Tuesday, and then as we get into Monday and Tuesday, we got some storms rolling through New Mexico, and then potentially as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, beginning of the week. It actually looks like a very rainy week out there. Let me look at this. Let's go look at the quantitative precipitation as we move forward. Let's go into total QPF.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
There we go. Yeah, right as we get into really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, lots of rainfall in New Mexico next week. So it's going to be, you're going to have some scattered thunderstorms, it looks like, Monday through Friday next week. Temperature-wise, we can look at our temperature anomalies down there in New Mexico. Hot, 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 hot. Maybe a little bit of a break. And then it starts to get a little bit cool as you get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Potentially, look at all that cool air. 19 degrees below average. That's why. No, 9 degrees below average. Okay, I was about to say. So as we approach the end of next week, we're going to see a big cool down. Potentially out here. And for up here as well, but. My settings would take forever to go through. Yeah, there's a lot of settings. So I'm not going to do that on stream. I could... Maybe I'll post to my WeatherWise. Join my Discord. Maybe I'll post my WeatherWise settings on Discord. You can change what your, you see how this is black? You can change what your kind of hail cores look like. When you go into, what is it? It's not map settings. How did I do it? Yeah, this is gonna, I'll look at it later and I can post my settings. Rule of weather-wise radar. Yeah. Hoping for rain. You're probably going to get some, yeah. Oh, you're right. There it is. I'm like, I know it's in here. Okay. Oops, I don't want to go there. No, it's not here either. Is it? Yeah, it's not here either. Oh, was it down? Oh, here it is. Customized color tables. Customized color tables. I actually have on the Ryan Hall color table. Spectrum width. Precipitation type. This is, I have on default. Spectrum width default. This velocity, my velocity is actually this AM IX OF 2BZ. So this is a custom velocity that, custom velocity radar right here. And then we've got that Evan showed me. And then we got Ryan Hall for the reflectivity, which looks like this. I was like, God, that's hard to find. What does weather look like for the East Coast tomorrow? Let's take a look. Here's our day 2. General thunderstorms for almost the entire East Coast except for Georgia and Alabama. And we've got a marginal out here stretching from almost New York City all the way down to Wilmington and through portions of West Virginia. So if we look at our rainfall, we can look at our excessive rainfall potential tomorrow. Lots of rain out here and potential severe thunderstorms. Potential for some thunderstorms down here, but just scattered. It's not going to be excessive rainfall. Did you see Central South Dakota environment on mesoscale analysis? Yes. Yeah, we were looking at it. I have it pulled up. Are you saying it looks significant because of this? 11.0 violent tornado parameter. The only thing with that is
New information.
There's a little bit of inhibition here. And that inhibition begins to dissipate as these storms move to the north. As they get into here, and your parameters up here are not as high on the violent tor param. So if we do get some inhibition to drop off here, we could get a strong tornado. But right now, I don't know. Lapse rates are good. Here, Cape is good. There's just some inhibition. You know what I'm saying? I keep forgetting to tell Discord I'm on here. Can one of my mods tell Discord I'm on? I just haven't been doing this for a while. I'm forgetting how to do my job. Linda, appreciate you. Nikki, what's going on? Didn't we just check Salisbury, Maryland? Am I going crazy? All right. This song's too much for me. I need to go to the next song. Salisbury. 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 You sure it's not spelled S-A-L-I-S?
This considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Are you sure you're spelling it right? I think you're spelling it wrong. You guys are good tonight. You guys are good tonight. Maybe some light rain, but you guys are good. Oh wait, no, you spelled it. You spelled it right. You spelled it right, and I read it wrong. Look at me accusing you. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Give me un momento. Here's our strong storms. Let me just keep the radar up here while we are watching this. We're gonna watch these storms up here. Give me a second. Let me make sure I put my BRB.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right. And give me un momento. Un momento. Hey, it's Riley. Riley, you want to say hi to the stream?
What up, stream?
Whoa, Riley, what you got there? What you got there, Riley?
Just some drink.
Okay.
Some apple juice.
All right.
Red Bull free.
Guys, Riley's moving to Minnesota with me.
I am indeed.
He's going to be my son's hockey coach. My son's going to the NHL. He's only 2.5, but trust me, he's going to the NHL.
He'll be in the NHL in 5 years.
He's going to play for the Minnesota Gophers in his sophomore year. He's going to be captain, and they are going to win the national championship. He's going to be so good that he's going to be the first player they let leave college early to go to the NHL. He's going to be the first-round draft pick, and he's going to win the Stanley Cup his 3rd year with the Florida Panthers. That's my son's future. I haven't really thought about it much, but something like that. Morgan, what's going on? What's going on, Matt? Matt, did you win your little race? He definitely won. He definitely won. Matt, did you win your little way? Oh, wait.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Did you win your little race, Matt? What's a good boy? Guys, Matt just ran a marathon. Yes, believe it or not, people run for fun. I always thought marathons were a conspiracy. No way people actually run for fun. The notifications are being funky. Ah, that's so annoying. Surface vorticity. Yeah, well, we got that surface level low up there. Yeah, we do have some. You know, sometimes I like to just look at the visible satellite, and it gives us a really good picture of what's going on. Here, I'm actually going to change the screen here to show you guys this butte. Okay. So, look at that. You can really see this. You can actually see rotation. You can see this rotating right in here. Big blow up of thunderstorms. And this is spicy territory up here, so we'll have to see what happens. We will have to see what happens. My friend just ran 62 miles. Oh my god. That's terrible. That is horrible. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Okay? Give me 1 second.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. New information. This flash flood warning has been updated.
Sorry about that intermission. Did you? I'm back. Okay. I'm pretty sure the song before this was one of my favorite songs that I have on my playlist, so I'm gonna have to go back. Is this it? One second. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right. We've got continue to see 2-inch hail, 60. Oh, observed 2-inch hail. Observed 2-inch hail. Okay. Not radar indicated anymore. Moving up to central South Dakota, moving up to the north. These storms are going to speed up. They're moving pretty slow right now. These are probably moving at like 15 miles per hour. Oh! And what does that say, guys? 15 miles per hour. There we go. Got it right again. These are moving slow. Wait, are you guys being super nice? Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, guys. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We try to be accurate. My area has such a pretty sky right now. It's beautiful. Ooh, that's awesome. I think it's dark outside where I am. I guess the sun is still setting out here. Yeah, I got 7:48 out here. We are camping in Pierre, South Dakota. Should we be worried about you're camping in Pierre, South Dakota. Where is that? Luckily the worst of it is moving up to your north. These storms to the south are going to be potentially severe moving through Pierre or Pere. I think it's Pierre. I might be saying that wrong, but there's not too high of a tornado risk or anything like that down here. You could get a strong, like a gusty thunderstorm. These to the north are what we're concerned about and what's going to come up ahead of it. So the worst is going to be to your north tonight, but you could still get a decent thunderstorm rolling through. But at least the worst is looking like it's going to be to your north. Ever since my CPU's been fixed, I have 0 lag while I'm streaming. Like, look at this. Look at this. 0 lag. Oh, my CPU must have been busted.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
You want those rainstorms? What if I could just copy and paste? Copy and paste thunderstorms. You can't sleep during them? I love... Well, I don't like sleeping during thunderstorms because I love the sound of rain and thunder. It's soothing. Yeehaw! Ride 'em, cowboy. Thanks for the cowboy hat, Marissa. And sorry I was late on the reaction. I'm in the Ohio. Considerable damage, threat, flash, flood warning. Yeah. Yeah, this one out here. Wait, no, it's here it is. Yeah, this one, Groveport and the areas around it, Baltimore and the areas around it, Lancaster's pretty close. Yeah, if you're in this region, just make sure you're safe. 2 to 4 inches have already fallen, and rain is continuing to fall at a ½ an inch to an inch per hour, which is pretty high. Canal, Winchester, Groveport, Pickerington, Obetz, Lockburn, Lithopolis, Carroll, Reynoldsburg, Baltimore, Millersport, Pleasantville, Thurston, Carroll, Rushville, Bryce, and I probably said some of these wrong. Dumentville, all in that considerable flash flood warning. Excessive rates, excessive amounts of rain are falling here. So if you're in a low-lying area, just be aware of your surroundings. What's going on? I am always late lately.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
At one point, I was getting all of them. That's funny. Yeah, copy and paste the temperatures would be better for Florida. Let's see here. Nothing too crazy going on. Again, you know, I'm probably going to do a long stream tonight just because my kids are in Minnesota. So why not? I can just be on stream for as long as I want. But slow start to the night, but as expected, things are supposed to get active here late into the evening. We're talking 10, 11 p.m. Central. So, but we'll see what happens before then. Strong thunderstorms out here in Montana still. Nothing majorly severe, though. Nothing else going on much through the country. Do you guys want to talk about the winter outlook again? Because I like talking about winter. Let's take a look at what's going on. Well, for those of you who don't know what's going on here, we now have greater odds of being in a weak La Nina, not Enzo neutral. October, November, December, January, potentially into February. We may actually be this time around in a La Nina, and I think we will be. I think this is under projecting it. I think we're going to be 0.8 degrees Celsius below average at least. So I think these blues should be up a little higher. What does this mean? We'll get to that in a second. This one down here is pretty important. It's not anything crazy, and then we'll probably go and get it. I'd be shocked if next winter we weren't in an El Nino, which would mean, by the way, this is actually really bad from the standpoint of we've had, and why are they setting off fireworks outside? Are they celebrating the 26th of July? Like, what are they doing? Oh my God, I can't stand my neighbors. Thank God I'm leaving. I'm just keep hearing fireworks and it's completely distracting me. My neighborhood sets off fireworks year round. It's so annoying. And there's so many kids in this neighborhood too who are sleeping. And like, I love fireworks when you're supposed to set off fireworks. I don't like listening to fireworks every single night. It's so, oh my, why? And the thing that annoys me the most is it's illegal to set off fireworks. Police never do anything about it. They won't do anything about it because they're like, well, so many people do it in the neighborhood. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll all just suffer together. It's so annoying. Anyways, there's a very, very high likelihood we are going to be in another Enzo neutral next spring, guys. Meaning we could see another very above average tornado season next spring, unfortunately. When you follow these trends, and I was talking about it earlier, large peak, big dip, large peak, big dip, large peak. This is an anomaly. Large peak, we're likely going to get this big dip, but this isn't going to be as big. But Enzo neutral is projected for spring. That's going to be interesting. Now, what do you typically see with a La Nina? A Nina winter. Okay? Generally, this is a good, just so you guys understand, which some of you I know already do. Generally, when you have a La Nina, your jet stream gets very, very weak. Okay, the waters down here are very cool. You don't get as much convection. Instead of your jet stream holding on because of that convection's there, it detaches because you have cooler waters not forming as much thunderstorms. It detaches and you get a wobbly jet stream that goes way to the north, and then you see a below average temperatures and wetter conditions, meaning more snow and below average temperatures for generally this region. So we're talking all the northern tier states, Midwest, sometimes New England as well. But typically with the La Nina, because that jet stream is holding to the north, you're not getting that cool air down here, and you're drier and warmer down here. Now, we were in a weak La Nina Enzo neutral, more Enzo neutral this winter, but we got a big snowstorm in the south. It's not guaranteed that this is what a La Nina is going to bring you. But on a sliding scale of 100-year average, it's 60 to 70% of the time. Weak La Nina is going to end up drier and then colder and snowier. Just as, you know. Now, when we get closer, I'm going to put out my winter forecast, and I'm going to do a very detailed 10-plus minute video on what I think this winter is going to look like. And then once we get into late fall, I'm talking like late October or mid fall, I'm going to put once we get within a month of kind of like winter starting, we'll have a really good idea of how the MJO is setting up and how our jet stream is setting up. But that's kind of what's happening with this right now. Now, last winter was supposed to be a weak La Nina. It ended up pretty much holding Enzo neutral the whole time. I think they're under predicting the weak La Nina this year, though. I think it's going to be trying to get towards moderate. God, these fireworks. Oh my God, it's so annoying. So, let's look at our MJO forecast real quick. It's hard to tell that far out, though. I don't think we're going to get a good... Can you guys hear the fireworks? I don't think we're going to get... It's impossible to... We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for a accurate MJO forecast. But the MJO... What phase of the MJO are we in right now? Let's go back here. I don't need Climate Prediction Center. These are old. Okay, so what are we in? Phase 7 of the MJO. If the MJO resets in... Let's see. If the MJO... If we take a week, 2 weeks... And then the MJO resets, let's say mid-August. September, October, November. December... January, February. January, February, we could be, if it runs on its normal 3-month cycle, on average, we could be in a phase 7-8 MJO. If we were to get a phase 7-8 MJO in a weak La Nina, that would be really interesting for snowfall in the Midwest, especially Great Lake region. Heavy snow. BC would be happy because BC runs a snowmobile thing in northwestern Indiana. Interesting. That makes me agree with what NOAA's predicting. That makes me agree with NOAA's prediction, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, for this right here, based on our MJO phase now. This would be associated with colder temperatures as well. You have more moisture and cooler temperatures. This could be a really good snow season for this area, this circled area. Snow winter. This is a way too early forecast. This isn't a forecast. It's an outlook. But I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the facts and what it looks like now with the information we have. Big Daddy snowstorms here. With the information we have right now. Cooler, below average, hotter than normal, drier than normal. This is always a big question mark. NOAA thought this would be very, very dry and very warm, and we had a big snowstorm down here this year. So don't worry if you're a snow lover down south. Don't worry, it's not set in stone. Believe me. All right. If I have another brown Christmas this year, where I'm moving, I looked up the statistic of where I'm moving near Minneapolis. I looked at the statistic. What percentage of winters what percentage of Christmases are white Christmases? And 73% of the time, it's a white Christmas where I'm moving in Minnesota. And I've never had a white Christmas my entire life. 73%? I mean, that's Minnesota for you, but I'm pumped. 73%. Over the last 80 years, 73% of the time, there's been snow, over an inch of snow on the ground. At least an inch or more of snow on the ground during Christmas. It's awesome. Yeah, come to my house this winter. I'm going to invite everyone. Listen, when my channel gets big enough and grows, eventually I'm going to meet all my mods. The last 2 years, it's been brown. Well, this last winter, heck yeah, Marissa, it was brown. I know that. I don't know about the winter before it. No, because the winter before it is when Minneapolis got like 100 inches of snow. I want to say it was 22, 23 winter. Minnesota got like 100 inches of snow, or Minneapolis area. But yes, for sure last year was terrible. You guys didn't get your first good snow, what, until like the end of January last year? Correct me if I'm wrong. And Minnesota starts getting decent snow in like October, typically late October into November. You can start getting decent snow, and they didn't get it till like late January. Party at Connors, 100%. We had a White Christmas in like 2010, north of Atlanta. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the 2009, 2010 winter was pretty good down there. I think it was 2009. Was it 2009? Might have been 2010, 2011. Yeah. Something like that. Still 2-inch hail out here. But notice what happened to some of these storms. Starting to dissipate. This is what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of inhibition here, guys. Even though we have violent tornado parameters and high helicity. We're going to think, oh, yay, the skies are clearing. And then we're going to see an MCS form up here. That's why I'm live. So we can watch what happens with that. Lots of thunderstorms rolling through PA again. Another round through central PA. Some potentially decent thunderstorms moving into Philly in a little bit. So we'll watch out for that. You guys are doing pretty okay down in Texas. Montana. Average severe thunderstorms. Tufts with 52 roses. And what the heck is that? Chatting popcorn. I appreciate you, Tufts. I have not seen that. Salisbury, I don't even know if you're going to get any storms tonight. If you do, it's going to be a scattered thunder shower. So like I would tell you, but there's going to be like light showers, light thunder showers late into the night, but it could complete you have this wall of precipitation moving towards you, and it's going to really break apart and turn into a big nothing burger as it gets out towards your area. And the rain, you might not even see any rain tonight. That's why I can't predict when you're going to see it, because you might not see it at all. The atmosphere is a little bit more stable out here. It's going to lose it's going to lose that daytime heat, and it's going to fall apart. Yeah, we got a lot of severe thunderstorms up in Montana. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Inch hail, nothing big. Another flash flood warning out there in PA. Just out to the east of Pittsburgh. I do gotta say, guys, when I was streaming a lot, I was getting really burnt out. But I feel fine now. I want to keep streaming. I think that sometimes you just need to take a little time off. You know what I mean? You just gotta reset. Because when I first started streaming, I loved every day of it. I would be on stream for 3-4 hours, and I was like, loved every second of it. And then after I streamed for like 100 days straight, I was like, ugh. There were days where I didn't want to stream, and I felt bad. I was like, people are expecting me to, so I just would stream and be in a bad mood. But I took a little break because my computer broke. Maybe my computer breaking was a blessing in disguise, because now I'm like super refreshed. I'm like, I'm like looking forward to streaming again. Yeah. Yeah, we do all need breaks. I know. The anxiety and pressure, and the pressure you feel and the anxiety you feel is 99% of the time it's self-inflicted. Anxiety. What did I hear the other day? Anxiety is basically what anxiety is basically fear of disappointing others, or fear of being in a situation that's likely to never actually happen. You're exaggerating things in your head. It's true. But like I was like getting burnt out, having anxiety. And then I was like, oh, people aren't enjoying my streams, because I felt I wasn't feeling good streaming. So in my head, I was like, oh, people aren't enjoying my streams. And then it's just like it becomes worse and worse. And I've always heard streamers talk about that, but I've never noticed until I did that. And I think I streamed I missed 6 days in like 100 and 150 days straight. And I was like, oh, this is what it is. This is the burnout. It just becomes robotic. So yeah, it was a good break. And I'm feeling good. That's why I'm really excited come the second week of August when I have my new office set up in Minnesota to stream every day, get the posts up. I feel good about it. Yeah. Tabitha. Tabitha said watching your snow forecasting is my favorite. I love forecasting snowstorms, and so many people get them wrong. I'm not always right, but there is a rhyme and a reason and a way, a little hacks of how you can know which models typically end up being better. I love forecasting snowstorms, and I cannot wait for this winter again. I had so much fun last winter in my live streams, especially when I was streaming that foot of snow down here. That was fun. And our snowstorm that was through here, that big snowstorm, that was a good time. It's raining here in Illinois. You must be here. or there. Yeah, I love forecasting snow. I love hurricanes too. I love hurricane season. If I'm being honest, like a lot of weather people, weather streamers and stuff are like including Mezzo Matt, like his thing is tornadoes. He loves tornado season. If I'm being honest, tornado season's I don't think I'm weak at it at all, forecasting, and I understand it perfectly fine. But that's the thing I'm actually least interested in. I'm really interested in winters, and I'm really interested in hurricane season. That also has to do with me loving climatology, and climatology really comes into play over winters because you have a much more active and variable jet stream. You have a much more active and variable MJO. And hurricane season, again, it's climatology. You're looking at the entire oceans and these big events. Whereas, like, once you get, tornado season, it's just dry lines and cold warm air interactions. There's not as much climate. That's why, like, when tornado season comes around, I don't even have weather bell anymore because, like, teleconnections don't matter. I like the big picture a lot. So, but I still like tornado season, like forecasting and covering it. But if I had to choose, I'd say it would be snow forecasting, winter forecasting, hurricane season, and then tornadoes. Matt would be the opposite. Tabitha, I appreciate you. What is the forecast for Paducah, Kentucky? Well, not much going on in Kentucky. Let's take a look at tomorrow. We can take a look at our categorical. Day 2. Thunderstorms. You guys don't have much of a severe threat right now from the Storm Prediction Center over the next 2 days. So Sunday and Monday, just thunderstorms right now. Into day 4, nothing. So, but if we were to take a look, and just scattered thunderstorms, they're not expected to be severe. 3-day forecast, even up to a 5-day forecast. Oh, look at that. 4 and 5 day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, you're probably going to get some rain. We can actually take a look at that real quick. So let's go actually over to, oops, I'm closing everything. Let's go over to Radar Omega, and we'll just go into, we'll go into our NAM 12K. That's fine. 18Z. Because this is going to give us about 4 days. So here we go. What's today? So this is Sunday, Monday. So this is when things get interesting. Let's go to the GFS. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so here's where things get interesting. Potentially Wednesday, the 30th.
A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has
Potentially Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Wednesday we could get some nice storms through Kentucky, and then the GFS thinks this is a little bit farther out, so I would take this with a grain of salt. But the GFS thinks as around October 4th, so that's about, August 4th. Sorry, it's about 9 days out. But the GFS thinks we're gonna have some decent severe weather moving through that region as well, Kentucky, Tennessee. So we'll have to see.
a new flash
Little far out.
warning has been issued.
But cooler temperatures are returning, like I said. Here you go. 6 to 10 day forecast. Look at that. Cooler temperatures expected, and then average to cooler 2 weeks out. So that's nice. It's not going to be cold because that's cooler than below average temperatures in in summer. But can you look at Duluth, Minnesota for tomorrow, please? Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. Thank God it's over this heat. Yeah. I know, same. Now, I can't complain. Out here in the Mid-Atlantic, out here in the Philly region, we didn't see our first day over 80 until like June. Like it was crazy. It was actually crazy. We went through almost the entire month. I think we went through the entire month of May, and I think maybe we hit 80 once or twice. We had such a cool start to summer, so now we have some hot temperatures. But I'm like, we got this. I have to look it up. I'm gonna look up some records and stuff. I think the Mid-Atlantic might have experienced its coldest 6 month, like its coldest start first half of the year in 50, 60 years. I have to look it up. We had one of the coldest January and Februaries on record in like 30, 40 years. Really cool. And compared to last year, that's crazy. But yes, so Duluth, Minnesota for tomorrow. Tomorrow, guys, I think we're going to get an enhanced for anyone who's wondering. Sorry, I'm going through all your questions. Tomorrow, I think we're going to get an enhanced out there in Minnesota, Wisconsin region. And we're going to go over why. Let's get up there. Here we go. That's tonight, and this is what I'm talking about, right? We're just like, nothing much going on, and then boom. Boom. Big MCS, right? Not big, but an MCS forms. Straight line winds, kind of bow echo potentially, and that moves up to the north and east to Grand Forks as well. So, but this is interesting too. What is happening early afternoon up here in northeastern Wisconsin? That's very interesting. Could get a tour up there. We'll see. Now, suddenly we get a stationary front. What's a stationary front? Imagine it as a mix between a warm front and a cold front. You have your, what would be a cold front here, and then you have a stationary front that's at the tail end, which is caused by just a lot of excess moisture and convection at the tail end of that low pressure. And that's why when you see these storms beginning to form, they're not moving. See how they're floating, and then they start to move off. But when they start forming, they're just not moving. This leads to flash flooding. The biggest threat with the stationary front is flash flooding. But the HRRR is picking up a lot of potential supercellular development here. So we are going to have to watch out for tours. You can see multiple mini bow echoes that the HRRR wants to put out here as well. So straight line winds is going to be a problem. I think let's take a look at our instability as well. Look at that instability. I mean, if we don't get an enhanced at least... I was in sin. Silly me. Okay, that would have been actually insane. Okay. Well, no. There you go. If we don't get... Look at this out here. 5 to 6K joules per kilogram of CAPE. We could see some decent hail out here as well with this. And let's take a look here. Let's take a look at our SIG tour for tomorrow. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Decent photograph. Not super impressive. Pretty good rotation from the surface to the 500 millibar. I'm sorry. To up through our mid-level atmosphere. So this is going to be that's pretty good when you go from a southerly flow to a westerly flow. SRH 128, not bad. 18 knot shear at the surface, not bad, not great. A little bit of inhibition. I don't think the inhibition is going to be there though, if I'm being honest. 3000 surface cape. Look at the possible hazard type. Not Tor, marginal Tor. This is a sounding I took just to the north of Minneapolis. We've got here not as much rotation down from the surface to the mid layer. Almost 4500 cape, a decent amount of SRH and surface shear here though. 28 knot surface shear. So 3.0 effective layer, and then marginal tor as well. So we've got some parameters out here. I'll tell you this.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been
I'll tell you this. I'd be shocked if we didn't at least get a 5%. Well, yeah, I'd be shocked if we didn't at least get a 5% tor. I think we could get a 10%. I think we could get a 10% tor that dry. But our driving, well, honestly, with a stationary front, it's hard to tell. Our driving factor could be tor, wind, or hail. Honestly, I can't even tell you. Stationary fronts are confusing because they're not. They're the tail end. They're just massive balls of convection that fire off after a front moves through. So I can't tell you. What I can tell you is there's going to be a lot of instability, and there's going to be the potential for definitely an enhanced threat tomorrow. I'd be surprised if we didn't get some decent hail and a tor or two on the ground out here. Hopefully we don't, but I'm being honest with you guys. Hopefully we don't. It's not going to be a tornado outbreak. Don't worry about that. But I'd be surprised if we didn't see a decent day out there. Also, look what's happening up here. Let's not forget up here. We could get some decent weather up here in northeastern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. This is tonight that we're going over, and we'll check to see if anything's going on right now. We have a little lull in our storms. Not surprised. We do still have a 2-inch or just under 2-inch radar indicated hail out here in South Dakota. As these storms move off to the north, they're going to move into a more favorable environment as they get into right around the border of North and South Carolina, no, North and South Dakota. So that is when things are probably going to get interesting tonight. That's, I would say, a couple to a few hours away. Timing tomorrow for central Minnesota. We could take a look at that. What's going on? All right. Okay. Chat, did you hear him? Wait, no, stay there, stay there. I want to see if they heard it. They heard it. Chat, did you hear him? What's going on, Brett? I'll show you the timing for Minnesota tomorrow. Give me a second. Okay, good. Okay, timing for tomorrow. Again, I think this is going to be orange. Okay, I think we're going to have a enhanced tomorrow. Timing for tomorrow. Let's not look at the GFS. Let's look at a short range. Ooh, the 00Z is loading. Yay. Timing for tomorrow. There it is. Ooh, the late stage triple R keeps this very far north of Minneapolis. What?
I see Amados, not yours.
Sure. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it. This is looking like it's right around 5 Central. We could have a nice line of strong storms to the north of Minneapolis at around 5 Central. And then potentially approaching Minneapolis at around 7 Central. Now, this latest stage triple R takes away a lot of the storms here, meaning we could have some inhibition here. We could have a cap here. Because our cape's going to be good there. There's no reason, unless we have a cap, that we're not having these thunderstorms fire up and this MCS expanding off to the west. So, interested development by the latest stage triple R. Really quickly, going over to, I want to see what the Rufus tells us, because the Rufus is a good one lately. Rufus, I'm going to guess, doesn't show that cap because the Rufus is aggressive. Yeah, see the Rufus? The Rufus brings these storms straight through Minneapolis. Not the strongest portions of them, but some supercells straight through Minneapolis. It's a little bit more aggressive. It doesn't see the cap and then continues to pull them down to the southeast with some super cellular thunderstorms. So the Rufus still sees a pretty decent setup. And then down into eastern Iowa too. But peak, I mean, right here. Man, what is going on here? Man, we're talking 2 a.m. We're talking like 2 a.m. Monday morning. Wait, what is this? What is the Rufus doing? Am I going crazy? 1 second, guys. This is like 2 a.m. Monday morning. Big potential MCS forming with strong straight line winds just to the northeast of Minneapolis. Hey, Rilo. Manders, what's going on? Rye, say hi to Manders.
What up, Manders?
Oh.
You're a good girl, Manders.
Riley! Riley! Why would you say that? Oh my god. 1 second, guys. Be right back. Can't not believe you said that. Be right back. Let me just get in my keys. I'll be right back.
Who's that?
1 second. Sorry. They were in my pocket the whole time, guys. Gotta be back here tonight. If you remember, you told me I could be a TikTok mod for you. Yeah, Duke, that was way back when. When was that? I'm doing good. I think I'm mods right now, but I'll chat with you off stream. I will chat with you off stream. I will about it. What's the weather for New Jersey? Weather for New Jersey is not looking too bad right now. Not too much going on in that region right now. You could have some late thunder showers through the morning or through the late night, early morning. Sorry, YouTube. My chat was not scrolled down, so I thought no one was commenting. That's annoying. What's going on, Yali? I'm sorry, guys. I literally my chat wheel wasn't at the bottom, so it wasn't resetting my chat. What's going on, Justin? We got some new flash flood warnings. Let's take a look at our warnings right now. All average. Oh, tennis ball size hail. 2.5-inch hail. Northeastern Minnesota, guys. Look at that bad boy. It's moving at a decent clip, too. 2.5-inch hail. Now, luckily, it looks like there is literally nothing here. I can't see even a town name. But it's out to the northeast of Glasgow. Moving out towards Wolf Point and Fraser, Montana. Big hail. Other than that, we've got golf ball size hail still sitting here in South Dakota. We're waiting for these storms to kind of hit a little bit more of an unstable atmosphere up to the north in North Dakota. We do have a lot, or not a lot, but some decent flash flood warnings out there that we do need to be careful about. Let's see here. Life-threatening flash flooding. So this is our one. I believe this is next to Columbus, Ohio. Yep. So just to the southeast of Columbus, Ohio, we have a considerable flash flood warning. This does include Obetz, Groveport, Baltimore, Thornville, Somerset, and all the surrounding regions in Ohio. So if you're at a low elevation, make sure you know what's going on because there is some life-threatening flash flooding happening there right now. It's probably the most significant thing going on right now. Yep. I appreciate the follows, guys. What do you think the 5% tornado risk would be tomorrow? Potentially there. Something like that. Could see one up here, but I just don't think we're going to have the rotation up here, the helicity. I think we'll have every other parameter except for helicity. I think the helicity is going to be here with the instability. No, Salisbury is good. If you get any storms, it's going to be weak. It's going to be light. Lydia, I appreciate you. Purple, I appreciate it. Yeah, guys. If you do become a sub on TikTok or a member on Discord, you do get access to the Climate Corner Discord. Sorry, a sub on TikTok or a member on YouTube, you get access to the Climate Corner Discord. Lots of weather enthusiasts in there, and daily and live updates of everything that's going on around the country and what's to come up. It's a good time. It's a fun Discord. Wow, what a quiet evening right now. Trust me, that's going to change as we get up here. It will. What I may do, just because I know my mods like to be in here when I'm streaming and I want to give people a break. I'm going to be watching this. I have all night stream. I might get off for a little bit because until we get some of these thunderstorms up into this region, there's not going to be much happening. So I might get off for a little bit and then potentially a little bit later hop on if we see some of these storms spinning up or some big hail, strong winds as this MCS tries to form in south central North Dakota. It's going to be late. We're talking 11-12 central. You know, yeah, I think that's the best thing to do because right now we're in kind of that period where there's just not enough. We've got a little bit of inhibition up here, and it's going to choke out these thunderstorms for a little bit. DNS said stay on. I'm probably going to get off for an hour. I'll have a little bit of food and then probably get back on. This is my second time streaming today. I streamed earlier in the day, only for about an hour. But I am interested in what happens in North Dakota tonight. And I am interested in what our models continue to show moving forward for our severe threat in Minnesota tomorrow. So I'll get back on later and we're going to go over that. Bemidji, Minnesota. Bemidji. Is it Bemidji? Bemidji, Minnesota? Yeah, I mean, based on our latest HRRR, you guys could have some strong thunderstorms moving in tomorrow at around 7 p.m. What time later? How about this? Let's do this. I'll hop back on in, let's say, an hour and a half. I'll give you guys an actual time. So that would be about 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, or yeah, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll hop back on then, and we'll see what's going on. I will tell you guys this. I will 100%, everyone is in here, I will 100% be streaming this tomorrow, the entire event, out there in Minneapolis. Northeastern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. I'll be live throughout that. We're going to have some decent weather out there tomorrow. I actually, last thing before I get off, I actually do want to see what Colorado State University thinks about tomorrow. Really, it's down? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Max probability win 0.32. They're putting the 5% Tor super far north. I don't see that. I think they fixed this today because the new one isn't loaded. I think this is fixed today. Look where they have that Tor up there. Yeah, I don't expect that. I don't expect that. I expect it a little bit farther to the south. Interesting. And potentially, if you were to have one up here, I'd expect it farther east. All right, that'll be interesting. All right, guys, I'll be back on an hour and a half. How do I see this? All of this stuff you see on my screen, Colorado State University, everything that I show in my streams, every website I go to, everything is posted from all those websites on my Discord and all the links to all the websites every single day. So if you subscribe or become a member, subscribe and take that, become a member on YouTube, you get access to the Discord. This is Colorado State University. Type in CSU Severe on Google and click the link to it. CSU Severe. Colorado State University is not the Storm Prediction Center, not associated with the National Weather Service, but is a great meteorology program, and they put out really, really good forecasts that are separate from the SBC that are good to match up to the SBC. I will be back on a little bit later, guys. It's Saturday. Have a cocktail or a beer or something at home. Unless you're pregnant. I'll be back.